This video is going to be very brief. It's just an introduction to the idea of what evidence is. And what's kind of cool is that because you've made it this far in the class, you've already used evidence in your assignments. You've already done evidence. So just so we're clear, here's what evidence is. Evidence is proof that an idea is correct. It's something you can point to be like, this idea I have, or this idea that I know about, this thing I have, this proves that this is correct. This is proof. So there's going to be different types of evidence. If you're in science class, the results of a lab might be evidence that your hypothesis is correct. If you're in math, the results of an equation might be evidence of some pattern in math. But in language arts, and a lot of times in history, usually you use what's called text evidence. And this can show up in a bunch of other classes too, but it's where you go to a piece of text, and we know what text is. It's books, movies, TV shows, magazines, newspapers. You go to a piece of text and you pull out something from that from that text that proves an idea is correct. And now you can get into all sorts of things about, is that text reliable? Does that text have good evidence? In our class, the kind of easier part when we're reading stories is that for a story, the evidence is just whatever you take from the story to back up your ideas about what that story is saying, or an opinion you have about the story. When we're reading things that aren't stories, then we do have to think about, is that evidence good evidence? Is that piece of text reliable? But when we're reading stories, our evidence is just stuff we take straight from the text to back up our ideas. I'm going to show you an example of how you've already done this. You guys did plot and conflict with text evidence already. You've done this. You had an idea. Your idea was that the main type of conflict is whatever you said it was. In this person's assignment that I pulled, they said it was character versus character. This is for all intents and purposes an opinion. I could come back and be like, nope, it's character society. So now you have to prove through evidence that your argument is that you are correct. And what did you guys do? You all did this. You pulled evidence straight from the text. You pulled stuff straight out of the text and used it to back up your ideas. For every part of the plot, for the climax where the main conflict ends, you used evidence already. You pulled evidence from the text to prove that this is the climax in the story. So evidence is just when you pull something from a piece of text to prove an idea.